This Wednesday and the triple digits, I mean, they're here. We saw that 7-day forecast with Ginger, so that's why this morning we're helping you stay safe in that scorching, near record-breaking heat.
Yeah, Dr. Chris Samadad from Honor Health joins us this morning. First of all, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Here's the thing that's really tricky about heat-related illnesses is that when you go outside, you just naturally feel uncomfortable because it's so hot. But when do I need to take it seriously and be like, oh, this isn't right, like I need to get some help?
I think you obviously need to take it seriously every time you go outside.
Okay.
But if you start feeling thirsty, dizzy, lightheaded, your heart's beating fast, definitely you're like, I probably need to do something here. I need to sit down. I need to go inside, get into an air-conditioned room.
Yeah.
But as soon as you start feeling just the earliest signs of weakness, dizziness, lightheadedness.
So you're an ER doctor. How often do you see this actually come into the ER? Because we always talk about it,
Right.
and we see people getting rescued on mountains. But do you just see folks maybe that aren't hiking come into the ER because they're experiencing this?
Yeah, and you really see it throughout the year. Obviously, you see it a lot more now, and you see it generally every shift. There's an element of dehydration with every patient that we see because we're in the desert. So whether it be in the summer when it's 105 degrees or even in January when people are hiking, it's an outdoor state. So we see it quite often, and you just have to really be aware that we're not in Indiana, where I'm from. You're in the desert. You have to bring fluids. You have to be thoughtful about the fact that dehydration happens quickly and heat illness can happen quickly.
We had a tragic story a little bit ago of a little boy who was out hiking with his family and unfortunately passed away. What are things that I need to look for in my kids?
Sure.
For that there's signs that they're not doing so great and that we should probably turn around or get back inside?
Sure. Well, definitely you want to start with being prepared, but with fluids and covering. But if the child starts complaining, becomes irritable, especially the younger they are, the irritability is what we look for. But if they're saying, "Mom, Dad, I'm dizzy, I'm lightheaded, I'm really thirsty, I can't," those are probably the big signs.
Okay.
And you can never tell. And I'm sorry to hear about that case, that person, but just being very attuned to the fact that dehydration, heat illness can happen quickly, especially today.
So when you get somebody in the ER, I mean, we talk about it all the time to be careful out there. I mean, some of it does seem like common sense, but what do they say when you have those conversations with the patient? They just didn't know, they thought they were fine. What is their mindset going out into that heat and doing something?
All of that, Justin. So they will say, I didn't think it would affect me. I work out every day.
Yes.
I hike Camelback every day. So depending on what your physiology, your genetics, what your hydration state was, it's unpredictable sometimes. So you just have to always kind of prepare for the worst, especially now.
You know, I was just hiking this weekend up in Flagstaff, and there was Mount Humphreys, very difficult, and there was a man hiking no water.
Yep.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
I mean,
And he's from here.
It's just
and I was like,
dumb.
what are you, like, seriously? No
Yes.
water? I've like gone through 2 liters already. And he had, literally he had no water with him.
Sometimes it's a badge of honor, right? And
I know, it's like you're trying to prove you're
yeah,
tough.
it's a badge of honor that, hey, I just did Camelback. It's 105, but definitely not. And we hear Camelback stories and Piestewa Peak stories all the time, where people are they go up there and they're stuck, and then EMS has to come and.
So if I'm starting to feel dizzy, I'm starting to notice, what do I do? Do I chug water? Do I sit down? What are like the steps that I need to take if I'm starting to feel, or I have a friend who's starting to feel those heat inconsistencies?
Sure. No, good question, Emma. I think you stop. If you're hiking, you stop.
Okay.
You sit down, try to get into the shade, and then you drink, and then slowly come down, get to work your way back to an air-conditioned area, a cooler area. But just take your time. If obviously turn around. And a lot of people, this isn't. You can come back in January.
Right, it's not going anywhere.
Come back in January and do the hike, but be cautious because we just see a lot of injuries related to
And I
this.
have another question, because there's always those thoughts of like, is water enough, or do I need electrolytes, or do I need specific? What if I am going hiking? Which, can we just say, hiking will be there in September or in October,
Right,
but. what is it like? Is there a certain drink that is better, you think, than others?
I think water. Water is absolutely
just-
fine.
okay, just-
Water is fine. You want to be careful with salt-containing fluids. I think Gatorade is going to be fine. I think it's a little, probably a little too sugary. But I think just straight water is fine. Obviously, bringing a snack if you're especially if you're starting to feel weak, because giving yourself a little bit of sugar or water would be good, and then work your way back down if you're symptomatic.
How long do you have when you start feeling that? Like, how long do you have until it gets like really serious? Like minutes?
It's variable depending on the person. I mean, the older or the younger are a lot quicker than people in the middle range. So you just want to assume that it's going to come fast, but it could be minutes, it could be hours for people to really proceed to like heat stroke or the serious levels of heat exhaustion.
So your best advice to people who want to not be stuck inside all summer long. It's so,
Sure.
I can only go to so many trampoline parks.
Sure.
Sometimes you do need to get that vitamin D and go outside. So what's your best advice for people as an ER doctor?
5 a.m. 5 a.m. is great right now. 5 a.m., 5:30. I know that might be crazy talk to some people, but right when I got in my car this morning, it was 6 o'clock. It was nice. It was good, and that time works. But if you can't do the early or really late when the sun goes down, then just be careful. And gyms are good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that common sense.
that is. The majority of my job is just delivering common sense information, and you know your body better than anybody else. So.
You don't have to summit.
You say
don't-
common
you don't.
sense. You say common sense, though. But this happens every day.
It does.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, true.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.